The wrestling world just witnessed history in the making as John Cena stepped into the ring and walked out with the one achievement that had eluded him throughout his legendary career. After 2 decades of dominance, after countless championships and unforgettable moments, the 16-time world champion finally captured the crown jewel that completes his collection. The man who told us we couldn't see him has now made sure we'll never forget this moment. John Cena is officially a Grand Slam champion, and if you're a wrestling fan, you need to hear how this incredible journey reached its climax. Hit that subscribe button right now because you won't want to miss a single detail of this historic achievement. The build-up to this moment was electric from the very first second. Cena had been chasing this dream for years, and everyone knew what was at stake. The Intercontinental Championship was the missing piece of his puzzle, the one title that had somehow slipped through his fingers time and time again. He'd held every other major championship the company had to offer, but this particular belt remained just out of reach. The irony wasn't lost on anyone that the man who dominated the main event scene for so long struggled to capture what some considered a mid-card title. But that's what made this pursuit so compelling. It wasn't about the status of the championship itself. It was about completing the set, about proving that no corner of this business was beyond his grasp. The road to this achievement tested Cena in ways that surprised even his most devoted followers. His previous attempts had ended in frustration, with younger stars blocking his path and showing him that the wrestling landscape had evolved during his Hollywood ventures. Each failure added fuel to the fire burning inside him. Critics wondered if Father Time had finally caught up with the man who seemed immune to aging. Social media erupted with debates about whether Cena still had what it took to compete at the highest level. The doubters grew louder with each setback, but anyone who truly knew John Cena understood that adversity only made him stronger. The match itself unfolded like a masterclass in professional wrestling. From the opening bell, Cena brought an intensity that reminded everyone why he became the face of the company in the first place. His opponent came prepared for war, knowing that defeating Cena would cement their own legacy. The back-and-forth action kept the crowd on their feet throughout the entire contest. Every near fall had fans gasping. Every reversal demonstrated the ring awareness that only comes from decades of experience. Cena absorbed punishment that would have finished lesser competitors, yet he kept fighting back with the resilience that defined his career. The psychology of the match told a story that transcended simple athletics. Cena worked as the underdog, a role he rarely played during his prime years. The audience watched him struggle and claw for every advantage. His opponent controlled long stretches of the bout, executing a game plan designed specifically to neutralize Cena's strengths. The younger wrestler used their speed advantage to stay one step ahead. They targeted Cena's neck, that vulnerable area that had plagued him throughout his career. Medical professionals watching probably winced at some of the moves that connected flush, but Cena refused to stay down. The turning point came when Cena dug deep into his arsenal and pulled out moves fans hadn't seen in years. He wasn't relying solely on his greatest hits. He showed technical prowess that reminded longtime followers of his earlier work before he became the superhero character. The chain wrestling sequences displayed a craftsman at work. He countered submissions with escapes that drew appreciation from the hardcore fans who understood the difficulty of such maneuvers. This wasn't just about hitting his signature moves and calling it a day. Cena was proving he could still wrestle a complete match against a hungry opponent determined to make their name. The crowd reactions painted the perfect picture of how much this meant to everyone watching. Dueling chants filled the arena as fans debated who deserved the victory. The split response that had followed Cena throughout his career was present, but something felt different this time. Even the fans who typically booed him seemed to respect what he was trying to accomplish. The atmosphere reached fever pitch as both competitors kicked out of finishing moves. The referee's hand slapped the mat twice on multiple occasions, only for a shoulder to shoot up at the last possible second. False finishes that in other matches might feel overdone worked perfectly here because the stakes justified the drama. Cena's facial expressions told the story of a man refusing to let his dreams slip away again. Sweat poured down his face as he struggled to his feet after a particularly devastating sequence. His opponent sensed victory and went for the kill shot, but Cena's veteran instincts kicked in. He ducked under a strike that would have ended the match, hoisted his opponent onto his shoulders, and delivered the attitude adjustment with every ounce of strength he had left. The impact echoed throughout the building. Cena collapsed on top of his opponent for the cover. 1, 2, 3. The referee's hand hit the mat for the final count, and history was made. The celebration that followed erupted with raw emotion rarely seen from Cena in recent years. He clutched the championship like it was the most precious thing in the world. Tears welled up in his eyes as the reality of his accomplishment sank in. The exhaustion from the brutal match couldn't suppress the joy radiating from his entire being. He climbed each turnbuckle, holding the title high for every section of the crowd to see. Photographers captured images that will live forever in wrestling history books. Commentary described the moment with the reverence it deserved, acknowledging that they had just witnessed something special. The post-match reactions from fellow wrestlers poured in immediately. Social media exploded with congratulations from both current roster members and legends of the past. Competitors who had battled Cena throughout his career shared their respect for what he just achieved. Even those who had criticized him in the past found words of praise for finally completing the Grand Slam. The wrestling community united in appreciation for a moment that transcended individual opinions about the man. This was about honoring excellence and recognizing the dedication required to reach such heights. The significance of this achievement extends beyond just collecting championships. Cena joining the Grand Slam Club places him among the absolute elite in wrestling history. The list of names who accomplished this feat reads like a Hall of Fame roster. Each person who reached this milestone had to prove themselves across every division and against every style of opponent. The Grand Slam represents versatility and longevity. It shows that a wrestler can succeed regardless of the circumstances or competition. For Cena to finally add his name to this exclusive list validates everything he's accomplished throughout his storied career. Looking at the journey that led to this moment reveals just how difficult the path really was. Cena's first world championship came early in his career, launching him into superstardom. The tag team championships followed as he proved he could work with partners just as effectively as he worked alone. The United States Championship adorned his waist during some of his most entertaining feuds, but that Intercontinental Championship remained elusive year after year. Some of his best matches came in pursuit of that particular title, yet victory kept escaping him. The wrestling gods seemed determined to make him work for this final piece of the puzzle. The timing of this victory adds another layer to the story. Cena's in-ring appearances have become increasingly rare as he balances wrestling with his successful acting career. Each return generates huge buzz because fans never know if they're witnessing his final run. The urgency surrounding his quest intensified with every passing year. If he didn't capture the Intercontinental Championship soon, the opportunity might vanish forever. The ticking clock created natural drama that no storyline could manufacture. This was real-life pressure that Cena had to overcome while performing at the highest level. The match quality exceeded expectations for a wrestler who doesn't compete regularly anymore. Cena proved that ring rust wouldn't hold him back when it mattered most. His conditioning looked sharp despite his reduced schedule. The timing on his moves remained crisp. His ability to work with the crowd never left him. These intangible qualities that made him a star still shine through whenever he steps between those ropes. The performance silenced critics who suggested his best days were behind him. Age is just a number when you're as dedicated to your craft as John Cena clearly remains. The opponent who faced Cena that night deserves recognition for their role in this historic moment. They could have played it safe and delivered a forgettable match that simply served to put Cena over. Instead, they brought their absolute best effort and made Cena earn every single second of his victory. The back-and-forth nature of the contest made the outcome feel genuinely uncertain. Wrestling works best when both competitors shine, and this match succeeded because neither person was there to just fill space. The chemistry between them created magic that reminded everyone why professional wrestling captivates audiences worldwide. The championship itself carries decades of history and prestige. Countless legends held the Intercontinental Championship during their careers. The title served as a stepping stone for future main eventers and as the crowning achievement for exceptional workers. Classic matches involving this belt are studied by wrestling students learning their craft. Adding his name to the lineage of champions means Cena now shares space with icons he probably watched growing up. The circular nature of this accomplishment brings his career full circle in the most poetic way imaginable. The aftermath of this victory will ripple through the wrestling world for months to come. Speculation about Cena's future plans immediately dominated conversations. Will he defend the championship regularly, or does this serve as his farewell moment? Does completing the Grand Slam satisfy his competitive drive or fuel him to accomplish even more? The questions generate endless debate among fans who want to see him continue wrestling and those who think he should retire on this high note. Only Cena knows what comes next, and he's earned the right to make that decision on his own timeline. The impact on younger wrestlers who watched this unfold cannot be overstated. They witnessed a veteran show them how to perform under immense pressure. Cena demonstrated that longevity in this business requires adapting and evolving while staying true to your core strengths. The lesson about perseverance in the face of repeated failures resonates deeply. How many people would have given up after falling short so many times? How many would have decided the Grand Slam wasn't worth pursuing anymore? Cena never quit chasing his goal, and that determination paid off when it mattered most. The broader wrestling community celebrated this achievement across all promotions and platforms. Podcasts dedicated entire episodes to breaking down the match and discussing what it means for Cena's legacy. Video essays analyzed the technical aspects of his performance. Fan art commemorating the moment flooded social media within hours. The outpouring of genuine happiness from people who love this industry proved that some accomplishments transcend company loyalty or personal preferences. Great wrestling moments belong to everyone, and this definitely qualified as one of those special occasions. Comparing this achievement to other Grand Slam winners provides interesting context. Some wrestlers completed the Grand Slam relatively early in their careers without much fanfare. Others, like Cena, had to wait years for the final piece to fall into place. The delayed gratification arguably makes the moment sweeter. The struggle adds meaning that easy success never could. Cena's path to this point resembled an epic novel with twists and turns that kept readers engaged until the final page. The payoff justified every chapter that came before it. The financial and business implications of this moment also matter. Cena remains one of the biggest draws in wrestling history. His name sells tickets and generates revenue across multiple platforms. Achieving the Grand Slam gives the company a marketing hook for his future appearances. They can advertise matches featuring the newest member of this exclusive club. Merchandise opportunities abound as fans rush to own shirts and memorabilia commemorating the historic night. The business side of wrestling sometimes overshadows the artistic elements, but in this case, both align perfectly. The legacy implications will be debated by historians and fans for generations. Where does completing the Grand Slam rank among Cena's career accomplishments? Does it elevate him in discussions about the greatest of all time? The answer probably depends on individual criteria for greatness. Some value world championship reigns above all else. Others appreciate versatility and the ability to excel in any role. The Grand Slam specifically rewards wrestlers who succeeded across multiple divisions, which speaks to a unique kind of excellence. Cena now possesses credentials that silence any remaining doubters about his place in wrestling history. The emotional weight of this victory clearly affected Cena deeply. Throughout his career, he maintained a mostly stoic public persona. The character he portrayed rarely showed vulnerability or weakness. But when that final bell rang and his hand was raised in victory, the mask slipped. Pure human emotion poured out as he processed what he just accomplished. That genuine reaction connected with audiences in ways scripted promos never could. People responded to the authenticity of the moment because they recognized real joy when they saw it. The future of the Intercontinental Championship became a hot topic immediately following Cena's victory. Who challenges him first? Does holding the title change his schedule or commitment level? Will he elevate the championship through high-profile defenses, or does he drop it quickly to focus on other projects? The uncertainty creates anticipation for what comes next. Wrestling thrives on unpredictability, and Cena's reign promises to deliver plenty of surprises. The championship scene suddenly feels fresh and exciting because of the possibilities his victory created. John Cena's journey to Grand Slam champion status represents everything compelling about professional wrestling. The athleticism, the storytelling, the perseverance, the drama, all came together in one unforgettable night. His victory reminds us why we fell in love with this crazy business in the first place. After 2 decades of entertainment, after becoming one of the most recognized figures in pop culture, he still cared enough to chase this dream. That dedication to his craft and respect for the business earned him this moment and so much more. The Grand Slam achievement adds another chapter to a career that already overflows with accomplishments, but this one might just be the sweetest of them all. If you enjoyed learning about this historic moment, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another update from the world of wrestling.